Howdy, folks, and gather around the virtual campfire right here in our own sweet Overton County.
Howdy.
We've got something mighty interesting brewing for you today on the Deep Dive.
That's right. We've been looking into some fascinating learning that's come our way.
It's a study, wouldn't you know it, from some smart folks at universities digging into what happens in the good old brains, the noggins of people who spend a whole lot of time in quiet thought.
Mm-hmm. Serious contemplation.
We're talking about folks like them, Buddhist practitioners, way over in Nepal, spending, gosh, thousands upon thousands of hours just being still and mindful. Makes a body wonder, doesn't it?
It surely does. What does all that quiet sitting do for a person?
Yeah.
And this research, well, it offers a little peek into the neural activity, the brain goings-on of these dedicated individuals.
So our aim today, our mission, you might say, is to take this study apart piece by piece and see what valuable lessons we can find.
See what nuggets we can pull out.
Yeah. Exactly. Something that might just spark your interest, whether you're sipping coffee in Livingston or, I don't know, watching the sun rise over Cookeville.
Wherever y'all are listening from.
Right. We'll get the big words to a minimum, you know. Just focus on what's truly captivating and what it might mean for us right here in our neck of the woods.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's get right to it then. This study, see, they had these folks wearing these special caps that could read the electrical signals coming from their brains. They called it an EEG.
Electroencephalography, yeah, EEG for short. It lets us kind of listen in on the brain's electrical chatter through these sensors on the scalp.
Listen in. I like that. So they wanted to see what kind of brain waves were dancing around when these experienced meditators were just relaxing, you know, at rest.
Right, baseline.
And then when they were doing their actual mental exercises.
During the meditation itself.
Now, they had these seasoned meditators, I mean, some with more hours of quiet contemplation than there are probably base in Dale Hollow Lake.
A fair few hours, that's for sure. Tens of thousands, some of them.
Wow. And then they had another bunch, folks just starting out, kind of novices on their mindfulness journey.
The control group, essentially. Beginners.
Right. And both groups tried to get into this feeling of unconditional love and kindness and compassion. That's what they called it.
Yeah, sending out good thoughts, warm feelings.
But without focusing on any one person or thing in particular.
Yeah.
It's kind of broad.
Exactly. They call that objectless meditation. Cultivating this wide-open, caring feeling towards, well, everyone and everything. And open-heartedness.
Okay. Here's where it gets downright fascinating, folks.
This is the juicy part.
They found that these long-term meditators, even when they weren't meditating at that very moment,
Just sitting there.
just resting, they had more of these speedy brainwaves called gamma waves compared to the beginners.
Higher baseline gamma.
It was like their minds were already humming at a higher gear,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
especially up front in the front part of their heads.
And what's really interesting about those gamma waves, host speaker, is they're often linked with advanced cognitive stuff, like really focused attention, learning, integrating information.
Okay.
So that higher baseline level in the experienced folks, it kind of suggests their long practice might lead to, well, lasting changes in how their brain usually operates.
Like tuning an instrument real fine over years and years.
That's a good way to put it.
And then, get this, when the experienced folks actually started their meditation, them gamma waves just shot through the roof.
Went way up.
The researcher said it was some of the highest levels they'd ever recorded in folks who weren't, you know, having any medical issues or something.
Truly remarkable levels, yeah. And not just strong, but also synchronized.
Synchronized. What do you mean by that?
Well, it means these gamma waves were working together in concert across different parts of their brains, like a perfectly tuned bluegrass band hitting all the notes together down at the square.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like the whole shebang was working together real smooth.
Precisely. It points to a highly integrated, efficient state of brain function during this particular kind of meditation, different areas communicating really well.
Now, the smart folks, the researchers, they do mention they had to be careful about, well, twitchy muscles.
Oh, yeah, muscle artifacts. That's always a concern with EEG.
Right. Apparently that can mess with the readings.
It can, especially in those higher frequencies like gamma. Muscles generate electrical signals too, so they had to do some fancy math, some calculations.
Some number crunching.
To try and filter that out, to make sure they were really seeing brain activity, not jaw clenches or eye twitches.
And did they?
They believe so. They used rigorous methods, and even after accounting for potential muscle noise, the finding held up.
Good. So even after all that, the experienced meditators still had way more gamma activity.
Significantly more, yes. Gives us more confidence in the results.
Now here's something else real interesting. This high gamma stuff. It didn't just pop up all at once when they started meditating. Like, bang, it's there.
No, not like flicking a switch.
Right. Not like turning on the lights down to the courthouse. It seemed to build up kind of gradually over the course of their session.
Yeah, progressive increase.
Took a little while to get those brainwaves cooking, I reckon.
Which suggests, that reaching this state of heightened brain coordination, it requires a sustained mental effort, a deepening focus.
Even though they weren't focusing on anything specific.
Even in this objectless state, it's about maintaining that quality of awareness, that open-heartedness, consistently. It unfolds over time.
Huh. Now, if we think about the bigger picture, these gamma waves, you said they're linked to paying attention, learning.
Attention, learning, conscious perception, yeah. Integrating different pieces of information into a coherent whole.
So it makes you wonder, don't it, if all that quiet time is actually, well, tuning the brain in a special way.
It certainly suggests that, like you said, maybe like fine-tuning that banjo over years of practice.
For a Saturday night picking session, maybe?
Could be. The idea is that long-term meditation might refine these abilities, cultivate a more focused and integrated awareness, not just during meditation, but in daily life, too.
And they even found, get this, the more years someone had spent meditating, like their lifetime hours.
Total practice time.
The higher their baseline gamma activity was.
Yeah.
Even when they were just resting, not actively meditating.
Now that correlation is really compelling, isn't it?
It sure is. It's like practice really does make, well, maybe not perfect, but it sure leaves a mark up there in the old noggin.
It strongly suggests the brain changes, adapts. Neuroplasticity, they call it. That the observed differences are likely a direct result of all that sustained mental training over time. It creates a kind of new normal for their brain activity.
This really makes you think, doesn't it? I mean, if these folks, these dedicated practitioners, can get their brains into this high gamma state.
This highly coherent, active state.
Could it mean something for the rest of us? Right here in Overton County? Folks may be going about their day working hard.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Maybe it points to the power, the hidden potential, in just taking a few moments each day to just be still and maybe cultivate a little bit of that good-heartedness they talked about.
I think that's the key insight for you, for everyone listening. Look, dedicating thousands upon thousands of hours. That's a tall order.
Ain't practical for most folks, no.
But this research hints that maybe even brief, regular moments of just mindful awareness, checking in with yourself, and actively cultivating those compassionate, kind feelings that could have a positive ripple effect on our brain activity, too.
So what does this all boil down to for you, sitting there maybe on your porch, swinging Birdstown, or waiting for your biscuits and gravy at the diner in Livingston?
What's the takeaway?
Yeah. Well, it hints, I reckon, that even a little quiet time, a little focus on simple kindness, might just have a real impact on how your own brain works.
It's not necessarily about reaching some, far-off mystical enlightenment overnight.
No mountaintop epiphanies needed right away.
It's more about the journey, as they say, about familiarizing yourself with your own mind, as those researchers put it, getting to know your inner landscape a little better.
Familiarizing, I like that. It's about fostering a different relationship with your own thoughts and feelings, maybe.
One characterized by maybe a bit more awareness and grounded in a foundation of kindness. This study just gives us a little neuroscientific peek behind the curtain, showing the potential of that kind of cultivation.
Yeah, it gives us a glimpse into the remarkable potential we all have right here inside us. Potential for finding a bit more peace, maybe even a sharper mind, right here in our beautiful volunteer state.
It's accessible, potentially.
Now, for something to really chew on. A remarkable call to action, if you will. We ain't asking you to disappear into the woods up near Standing Stone State Park for 40 years.
No, sir.
But maybe tomorrow morning, before the sun really gets going, before the rooster crows over near Birdstown, take just 5 minutes. That's all.
It says 5 minutes.
Find a quiet spot. Sit still. Breathe easy. Like the wind whistling through the pines up on the Cumberland Plateau.
Nice and steady.
And just think about sending a little bit of that good old Overton County kindness out into the world. Not aiming it at anyone special, just out there.
Objectless kindness.
Yeah, without expecting nothing back. Just offer it up, see what happens, see how it feels. You might just surprise yourself at the quiet strength you find right there inside you.
It's a simple experiment. An invitation to explore the potential within your own mind through these small, consistent acts of mindful awareness and kindness.
Well said. Now, if this here deep dive sparked your curiosity, if it tickled your fancy,
It got you thinking.
why don't you go ahead and tap that like button? Let us know you enjoyed it. And hey, leave us a comment. Tell us your own thoughts on this. We love hearing from you folks.
We really do. Your thoughts and questions help shape these conversations.
And hit that subscribe button too, so you don't miss our next exploration into the wonders of life right here in our own backyard.
Your engagement helps us keep bringing these kinds of deep dives to you.
And now, from our hearts right here in Overton County to yours, wherever you may be, may peace and well-being flow to all creatures, big and small. From the tiniest field mouse hiding out in Standing Stone to the wisest old owl up in the Big South Fork.
May you all find ease and understanding and a little bit of that quiet strength on your path.
Y'all take good care now.
Take care.